Hey folks, it's June 27th, 2017, reset day for our favorite little MMO first person shooter RPG self defined game Destiny. And I will continue doing my reset videos right up until the dropping of Destiny 2. Some interesting things have come out in the news about Destiny 2. And Destiny itself, or Vanilla Destiny, or Destiny 1, or D1, I guess, as we'll have to call it. Meaning that in the last couple of weeks, or the last month leading up to it, every Nightfall for the last 4 weeks, I believe, will be a Daybreak style Nightfall. Meaning that Daybreak, as if you played it last week, you'll see that your supercharges are about every 30 seconds. It's really amazing. It's kind of like Mayhem Clash, only in PvE. As well as next month being the last ever Iron Banner and the last ever Trials of Osiris. There won't be continuing those into Destiny 2. Or they will be in Destiny 2, but they will no longer be events that will happen in the original Destiny, even though the game will, of course, still be supported, still have servers, still have the raids every week, challenge modes, Challenge of Elders. There just won't be any new content, and there won't be a Nightfall, not a Nightfall, sorry, a Trials of Osiris or an Iron Banner monthly event. And I suppose that's reasonable. Let's take a look and see what's on tap for this week and how it gets played, what the different modifiers are, and more and more excitement as we lead up till September. Let's see, the weekly featured raid is, oh yeah, Vault of Glass, of course. We have the Templar Challenge and the Atheon Challenge. Atheon, Atheon. Arguments rage over how to pronounce that one. The Templar Challenge, of course, you cannot let him teleport. It has become so ubiquitous that that's become the standard of how to do it, even if you don't need the challenge. It just seems so easy to keep him from teleporting while everyone beats the crap out of the poor guy. And the Atheon challenge is that every member of your team has to destroy one of the 6 oracles that pop up, which means you need to cycle people in and out of that alternate dimension, either Venus or Mars. If you played it, you know, and if you haven't played it by this point in the game, you're probably not going to. I won't waste your time explaining it. Challenge of the Elders, if you're still doing Challenge of the Elders, has super kill bonus, chaff, and grounded. So grounded means you take double damage if you are in the air. Chaff means there you have no radar up in the corner at all. Super kill bonus is the highest scoring bonus of them at 50 points per super kill normally, so 100 in the first round, 200 in the second, and 300 in the third, I believe. So the highest potential score, but of course you need to get your supers up. So anything that gives you a lot of intellect, any items that give you faster charging supers, that kind of thing, always a good idea. And then the weekly Nightfall Strike we'll get to in a second. I will drop in and see it. The strike playlist this week for the heroic strikes, if you still haven't gotten every strike specific piece of loot and you want to farm those skeleton keys, or you just want to sit and hang out and, you know, random fire team it up. We have specialist, meaning double damage for all special weapons. We have exposure, meaning that, of course, your shields do not regenerate, or at least very, very slowly, but they're quite a bit tougher. And airborne, you do double damage across all platforms when you are in the air, as long as your feet are off the ground. Fantastic for dropping those damage over time grenades, like the ones that paint the ground in fire or something, and then you just jump in the air and watch the boss melt. And the weekly story playlist, Oryx seeks vengeance for his lost son. So the arrival of Oryx, the Taken King storyline. Berserk, enemies do not stagger, they will come charging at you into melee. And specialist, as we said, double damage. Doubles. Oh wow, this week's PvP is team double, small team tactics. So basically practice for Trials of Osiris with 2-man teams instead of 3-man teams. The Nightfall this week has grounded. So yes, again, if you jump in the air, you will take double damage. Fresh troops, more basic enemies. Match game means any shielded enemies, so captains for the fallen, some of the heavier cabal, Minotaurs, the heavier Minotaurs have shielding. There's a few others. And Hive. What's in the Hive? Shielding for the Hive is obviously wizards, and some of the heavier knights may have it. Sorry, I can think. And match game means that if you don't match their energy type, they barely take any damage until you break their shields. Catapult meaning your grenades recharge ridiculously fast. So if you have a good grenade character like a Void Walker or something, great way to just keep throwing those grenades, spam them out. Let's take a look and see what the actual playlist is, or what the actual strike is, and that'll give us a good idea of what type of weapons you should bring in. Most enemy types have pretty specific energy types, I guess. I can keep saying the word type, but what are you going to do? To their characters.
Varix has brought unsettling news. The Devil's Splicers have used Siva to resurrect an old foe.
Tannix.
Tannix the Scarred has become Tannix Pathetic.
All right.
Tannix's crew has joined the Splicers. They're using Siva.
Tannix the Scarred, Tannix the Scared, Tannix the big bad dude. Tannix himself has no shielding until the final boss fight in the end. And even then you can't damage him at all with his shields up. You have to take down those Siva clusters and then his shielding drops. So you don't have to worry about match game fighting him in particular. Now, if you fight, this will depend on what the enemies are when you go in. If it's mostly Hive, then you're going to want Solar for taking down the wizards. And if it's mostly Siva Fallen, whatchamacallem, their Splicers, then I think it's Arc. I think the majority of the captains will have Arc shields. I'm not going to waste my time going in. It may change from run to run, I don't know. But yeah, so think Arc or Solar. Those seem to be the way to do things. And remember, stay on the ground. Keep your feet on the ground and you should be alright. Keep your stick on the ice, as they say. And that'll be it. I'm going to go back to orbit. Not waste anybody's time here. So as we said, coming up in the last month up to September 6th, so from the beginning of August, all the last 4 Nightfalls will have the Daybreak modifier instead of the Nightfall modifier, or the Epic, I guess. And there won't be, going into Destiny 2, Vanilla Destiny will still exist, still be supported, but will not have Iron Banner or Trials of Osiris on a week-to-week basis. That's going to be it for today. I want to thank you for joining me in this little morning look at what's available for the reset. As always, have a great day and have some great gaming.